Hello, everyone. We'll just give everyone about maybe a minute or two to get here. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, I hope everyone is doing well. We're going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Terry Locklear. I'm from the Office of Online Learning. I see some familiar names in the room, and thank you so much for joining today. So the topic of our discussion today, or the title of this presentation, is help. How can I schedule all of these students? So we're going to talk about a program called Microsoft Bookings, and we're saying, hey, let Bookings do the heavy lifting. Okay, so our objective or our goals for this presentation today is by the end of this session, you should be able to explain the benefits of Bookings and actually learn how to hopefully utilize Bookings for creating a scheduling program for you and your students. Okay, so if we think about it, a lot of you are more than likely familiar with EAB, and EAB is the program that we use for advising, and that's how we schedule appointments during advising week, or whenever that time comes around. We would create a campaign, and you would go ahead and set your availability for that week, or ever how long you would typically host students for advising. So the program that I'm going to discuss today is basically works the same way, and not necessarily limited to just that week. So you could use this platform for year round for much of your scheduling. So in some ways, you may think, when we start looking into it, you may think that we're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, but really, I discovered this program a few months ago, and I've been using it in our office. It's called Microsoft Bookings. I've been using it to schedule instructional design consultations. So this is the logo, and the question may be, well, what is Bookings, right? And this is Microsoft's description of Bookings, and it says it makes scheduling and managing appointments a breeze, and it includes calendar integration and all that sort of thing. But if you will look at their description, and when you start using the program, they use terms like customer and store and staff. So it's a program that's designed really for the private sector. So imagine if you were maybe a hairstylist, or you had a salon, and you had like 2 or 3 individuals in there working in your shop. This is the language used in this program is geared toward that sort of situation. And that's going back to the round peg in a square hole analogy, but it really works well for us, and you'll see here in just a minute. So there's only one big challenge. There's limited options for a video platform. If you know, using all the bells and whistles and calendar integration and that sort of thing. Excuse me. If you want to build that in, you're going to have to use Microsoft Teams, which is really it's not a bad program, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So this is what we've been using it for. This is how we've been utilizing it in the Office of Online Learning, is for the instructional design consultation request. So if you go to the Office of Online Learning's webpage and say, you click the link that says, I want to schedule an appointment with an instructional designer, you're going to see something that looks very similar to this. And I can actually go ahead and show you in just a minute. But this is what it looks like on the back side. You'll see the past appointments that I've had. I took this image, this screenshot last night, early this morning. So you'll see on the 23rd, I had an appointment actually at 1 today, and here's all the consultations. But the big functionality comes in when you look at the calendar integration and how it works with that. So with that being said, I'm not going to Q&A. I'm going to a demo. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to start sharing my Chrome application. Okay, so now if you navigate to the Office of Online Learning's webpage from uncp.edu through quick links, it is right, well, here, Department Quick Links, Office of Online Learning, okay, and scroll down and say, to schedule an individual instructional design consultation with Terry or Kristen, our new instructional designer, click here, okay? So this is what the form looks like from your end. So, okay, so you'll notice that, okay, today is the 23rd. So it looks like there's no availability today. So it looks like there's 2 options for tomorrow. Let's look at, okay, the 25th. Okay, there's some options there. The 26th, just a few on a Friday. So Monday, there's plenty there. Tuesday, few, but you can't, nothing for the 31st, and you can't actually scroll further. So it looks like there's some limitations kind of built in. Because you can't go forward, and you can't schedule anything for today. So it's kind of interesting. We'll see how we'll see what's working behind the scenes to make that happen. So if I go back to uncp.edu, okay, we're going to go back to the main web page here, quick links, and I'm going to scroll down to Office 365. So this is a Microsoft Office program, and it's part of the platform, right? So on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on All Apps from there, All Apps, and you'll see that. So I'm sure that when you click on All Apps, you're going to get a different ordering of the way these are arranged here. You'll notice that Bookings is the first one for me because I've been using it for this presentation, you know, preparing things and just taking a look at it often. But if it doesn't appear, you know, here, and it's not, if it's not easy to find, you can always just type it in here. It's way at the very top. So Bookings. So if I open it up on my end, you're going to see it, you know, essentially this is a storefront. So essentially this is basically a storefront. And like you said, you know, the terms used, and don't pay that, you don't have to really acknowledge that terminology. Just think about, you know, the use of how you can utilize it for your context. You know, if you're just trying to integrate it into your calendar, you don't have to worry about staff or anything. But anyway, when you open yours up, it may be a little bit different if you're not already established. You know, I added a logo for ours and that sort of thing, but the underlying functionality is going to be the same. So I want you to just start thinking about how you can utilize it. Okay, so if I go here to the calendar, move this here, and just I want to take a look at what you will see You're not going to see my entire calendar. You just see the past in appointments that I've had. Okay. So booking page. Okay. So this, my page, you notice that the page is published. You can customize the page using colors and in that sort of scheme. I utilize the UNCP colors for ours. Okay. You could connect it to Facebook if you'd like. So let's just take a look at these options. Booking page access control. Okay, you're going to definitely want to check this box. Require a 365 account from my organization. So that means that only UNCP students or only individuals from UNCP can access this page. Okay, you do not want to be disable search engine. You know, disable that. You don't want individuals to be able to find this page on the web. Okay, customer data usage consent. So that's, you don't have to do that. You don't have to select that option, you know, thinking in terms of customer. But this is where it really gets, this is where you can really take advantage of the system and how it works. Scheduling policy, okay? So show available increments of X. So for me, what we do, I have it set up in 30-minute increments, okay? Maximum lead time. What's the maximum time frame in which someone can book you or complete this form? For ours, we have 24 hours. So that'll give us at least 24 hours of lead time. Minimum. The minimum lead time is 24 hours, and the maximum, you know, how far can they go out? We say 7 days. Okay, now email notifications. Of course, you're going to want to get notified through email. And also it's going to send the customer, we're going to send the student an email as well with their booking information, and they can just automatically, boom, add it to the calendar. Okay. Now, with the reason you're seeing this this staff option here is because we use the same form for Kristen and our other instructional designer, Kristen Purvis. She and I share this form. So this box is an option, right? But I don't. She and I agreed that it would be. It may be problematic if we would allow you know, faculty to choose. Well, I only want to work with Kristen, or I only want to work with Terry. So we just kind of limited that. So it'll be a surprise, I guess, when you complete this. General availability here at the bottom. Bookable when staff are free. So that's where you want to really, that's where the power comes in, because actually what this program is doing is it's taking a look at what you have on your calendar, and it's going to limit that. So it's not going to allow anyone to book you when you have something on your calendar already. Okay. So if I click, I'm not going to save that. I'm just going to click discard. So customers, oh, well, these are individuals who've scheduled in the past. Staff, so staff in our situation is just myself and Kristen. Like I said, our other instructional designer. Okay, services. We only have one service. And so you'll see prices and that sort of thing. So you can just ignore that. We only have one service, you know, and in our situation, it's instructional design consultation. And for your situation, it may be, so if you click add a service, it may be just general student meeting or one-on-one discussion or whatever. So you can choose, I'm going to discard, choose your settings here, and I'll just show you what ours looks like. Share your page for this service. Oh, this is a URL that I just showed you a minute ago from our web page. So that's from the Office of Online Learning's web page. So that's the email, or that's the link. Okay, service name, consultation description. There we go. Location. So here's where the limitations mentioned in the PowerPoint kind of come in. If you want to provide an automated online meeting link, if you want to include a link in your booking or your consultation or your calendar invite, you're going to have to select this option. But the only issue is you're going to be limited to Microsoft Teams. And so you can't use Zoom or WebEx or Google Meet or anything like that. That's one of the limitations. But Teams is it's not a, it's a good program. You can do screen sharing, and it works. Okay. So default duration. So for our consultation, we have a default duration of an hour. You can say, you can determine what that what that is for you. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hour. It's up to you. So you can make this 0 if you'd like, and then select the number of minutes here. Let customers manage their appointment when it is booked by you or your staff on their behalf. Yes, I'm not exactly sure what that one is. Okay. Maximum number of attendees per event. Okay. So with us, it's just one-on-one, right? So we could say, well, we only want one. You may want to meet with students. You may elect to meet with students in smaller groups. And if that's the case, then you could have more. Okay. So price here, don't worry about price. So not our situation. Okay. Here we go. So we've got a default reminder set for a day before. We'll just send both parties an email saying, hey, this is a reminder that you have an appointment booked. Enable text messages. So yeah, we use that. It's up to you. Publishing option, show this service on the bookings page. So on the page, you have to select the service, right? So this is kind of the options. And when this is all saved, when you save this information, that's kind of what we get here. Okay, close this email. My apologies. Okay, so that's kind of bookings and how it looks. I'll just go back to our uncp.edu/online page, show you what it looks like. So that was the back end. We'll just take a look at it one more time for the front end piece. And this is what it looks like when it's all completed. Like I said, the good thing about it is it's not going to allow anyone to schedule an appointment during a time that you already have a calendar event. So even if it's a meeting outside of bookings, like for example, this meeting I have 1 hour. I have a 1 hour block, and it's probably been there for like probably 2 months or so, a month, and so nobody was able to book during a time, and we used Zoom, to do this scheduling. So even if it's an appointment that's outside of bookings, it's going to lock it out and not allow anyone to book you, and you're not going to be double booked, which can be a huge, massive problem. So with that being said, that's pretty much all we have, and I'm happy to take your questions. If I open the chat here, I think I had one come through chat. So someone asked, when the meeting is scheduled and it's on your calendar, can we add? Oh yeah, Zoom. Yeah. So that's the challenge, is you're only going to be able to use Microsoft Teams, which Teams works okay. If you don't have it installed already, then you can actually use Teams from within the browser. But it works a little bit better if you download and install it on your computer, your local computer. Also, it'll allow you to do the screen sharing and that sort of thing. I don't think you can request to control someone else's computer, but either way, it's a good program, and it works well, especially for this. For me, I would rather use Zoom, but I don't think it's worth the hassle of creating another communication about the location. I think it's easiest, it's not worth doing that. It's a lot easier just to check the box and say, okay, I'm willing to use Microsoft Teams. Okay. So someone asked, personal activation begins once you schedule, right? Personal activation begins once you schedule. Personal activation. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but personal activation. I apologize. I'm not sure what that means. So we're happy to. I'm happy to have a discussion. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Pilarczyk. Okay, I mean the personal link. Oh yeah. The personal link. Yeah, once you save and say once you save, yeah, the link will appear. And once you create your service, the link will appear. Does anyone else have any questions? We're happy to have a conversation here as well.
I had a question on the calendar. Do you block out days and times?
Yes, you block out days and times. Let me, I can show that.
And can you add this to a link on Canvas? In other words, okay, so if say students, you want to personally meet with students, that you could put this under a module and say, this is where you would schedule?
Yes, so you would send them, you would send them this link that the program gives you. Let me see if I can find it again. Bookings. Sorry. And I'll show you this again with the days. That was a good question. So if I go to services and edit, so your availability is set. Staff for free. There's a place where you say where you set your let me see, looking at the calendar. Can this I think it's under staff. So each, because we have 2 staff members, you set your preferences here. So I will just click edit and show you. Here are mine. So Sunday, I'm closed on Sundays and Saturdays. Okay, and Monday through Friday.
Okay, so we enter our names under staff, even if there's only one of us.
Yes. Yeah. And I know it took me, I mean, I'm pretty savvy, so, but it took me maybe like 30 minutes or so to get this set up initially, but it's been worth every, it may take you a little bit longer just playing around with the different settings and that sort of thing, but it's definitely worth taking the time to set it up for sure, because it saves a lot of back and forth. What's your availability? I'd like to come see you. When's the best time? And that kind of back and forth. You just send the students the link and say, here you go. If you would like to meet with me, here are my office hours, and you just click the link and select your time, and it's on both of our calendars with the video conferencing tool already built in.
For me, when they work on a project, this would be a great option for them to book a personal meeting, like we might have a class Zoom meeting. But if they're working on a project and they don't want to ask in the class Zoom, and they specifically want me to walk them through it again, this would be a great option that just gives them flexibility to contact me that way.
Absolutely.
Well, that was my question. What is the difference between the Zoom, the WebEx, and Microsoft Booking?
So Zoom and WebEx are tools, for video conferencing.
Right.
I'm not sure if Zoom allows students to, I'm not sure that it has this sort of scheduling functionality.
Okay, the reverse operation. They can't
Yeah.
do that. Only
Correct.
we can do that. Okay.
That's the
We
advantage.
can schedule Zoom meetings. I mean, I guess they could open their own account and schedule a meeting, but we would still have to respond. I mean, we would have to say, yes, we're going to attend, or no, we're not going to attend. This way, I guess that's my other question. Do we, if they schedule a meeting and and we're available, we are consenting to meet with them.
So that's where you want to be careful with your availability on this page.
Okay. What if we
Yeah.
have something come up that say we need to block a period of time that is not just a regular thing? How do we do that?
So if you would like to meet with a student outside of these hours,
Right.
yeah, that would, you would have to just handle that one through email, the scheduling component.
What happens if we want to, what happens if we want to block part of that time that we're available, but we're going to be doing something else?
You just put a event on your calendar and say, I'm going to be doing something else, or, make another event in your calendar, and it'll
We just make another event that said, busy or something.
busy. Mhm. So the huge overwhelming majority of the huge advantage of this program is that it automatically syncs with your calendar. So if you already have something already in place, then it's not going to allow anyone to book during these hours.
Right. So if I have office hours 10 to 1 on 3 days a week, so would I just adjust those hours on this calendar, right?
So by default, I'm showing you our this is the one that's active, right? So by default, I think when you go to staff and you add yourself, I'm not sure if you're already in there or not, but I think by default it's just like closed. On each day, you just add your hours.
Add the hours. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, this was most informative.
Okay, I hope that's it. Does anyone have any other questions? If no one has any, I really appreciate your. Yes.
Can I stay after for a few minutes after the meeting so I can get some personal instruction?
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
I do
absolutely.
need this feature because I need to start doing student conferencing pretty soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much. Here's my contact information. And also, if you'd like to schedule an appointment with myself or Ms. Kristen Purvis, you can go to our website and click on the form, and we're happy to provide some instructional design consultation. Thank you for attending. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry for arriving late. It's a conference week for me for my professional conference. So
Okay.
I was watching a talk and I just totally lost the track of time. So let me see. So maybe I should share screen just so you can see.
Sure. I'll start
let's
mine.
share screen. So yeah. Okay. So I guess you disable the feature.
Let me see. Okay, all participants. There we go.
Okay. So share screen so I can show you what I'm doing. So there you go. And so I go to mail. Should I go to?
So top left, you see those little dots beside Outlook?
This one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Booking. Where is that?
All apps. Mm-hmm. Bookings. There he is.
Cool.
Yep. Up.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Okay. Get it now. Add a booking calendar. Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then business name UNCP.
I would just put mine. You put your name in there.
Okay. And business type education. Something like that. Continue. So yeah, what I need to do is to have maybe 30-minute conference slot